Greetings and salutations, my fellow geeks, and welcome to episode 72 of the Okie Geek Podcast. I'm Michael Cross.
I'm Nikki Robinson.
And I'm Joshua Unruh.
And here we are on the last day of 2016. I thought it would...
God.
Yeah, I know. Finally, it's over. It's been the longest year ever.
Drop Dead 2016.
I know. Well...
Hashtag dumpster fire.
It's been awful. We you know, a lot of deaths this year. We started out really sad with the death of the Goblin King and Snape, David Bowie, and Alan Rickman, ending with the passing of Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher. I mean, this has been a horrid year.
Well,
It really has. And me and the kids watched Star Wars: The Force Awakens yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like Carrie Fisher, I was like, oh, that's sad. But then I watched the movie and I was like, she's not here anymore.
Yeah.
I had a bad moment.
Carrie Fisher was and in between there, I mean, and I mention this especially because of with David Bowie in mind, we lose Prince,
right?
Also, so I mean, huge musical talent lost.
George Michaels,
and George Michael there. So big musical talent lost. Big champions for other sexualities and other gender identities lost in between there. I mean, Prince and Bowie are doing that when, I mean, 20 years before it was going to be a thing that you could remotely feel safe doing. I mean, it's just, it's not just the talent, but also the champion of things. Because it's the same thing for Carrie Fisher. We lost a fantastic writer and champion for mental illness when we lost her, as well as losing Princess Leia. So, yeah. And in my case, I waited a week-ish to see Rogue One. So I got to see... Spoilers, stop listening for a minute. CGI.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy?
CGI 19-year-old Carrie Fisher at the end of the movie, and walked out to my Twitter feed being full of her having had the heart attack on the airplane. And I was like, well, F you 2016. And then she's stable, and then she dies, and then Debbie Reynolds dies, like right after her. And I was like, and I think I was getting the Debbie Reynolds news, I wouldn't swear to this timing, while I was watching Carrie Fisher's Wishful Drinking special on HBO.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was like, well, the hell with this.
Postcards from the Edge.
Well, there's only 13 and a half hours left of 2016. Yes. So
hopefully no one else goes. I was kind of writing down, I think the biggest surprise of the year was Anton Yelchin.
I know, Star
Chekhov.
Trek.
Yeah. What is that guy, 12?
I know. I was on vacation, and somebody goes, have you heard about the death of the Star Trek guy? And I'm like, and at that time, I hadn't heard anything.
You need to be more specific right now.
Well, that's what, and usually I think, okay, all of the older Star Trek, the original series, it's possible that any one of them could die, and then also even the next generation. So I thought, surely it's got to be somebody who's, when I was like, so who? And they said, it's the new Chekhov. I'm like,
such a young
what was that, car accident?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just checking his mail, and he didn't put the parking brake on, and it came back and hit him and killed him. And I'm like, no, that doesn't happen.
That was a sad one.
So and so a lot of hitting us in our a lot of deaths hitting us in our nerd areas and also in our sort of outsider community areas all at the same time. It's just not okay with it.
Well, yeah, I had Gary Shandling, Leonard Cohen, Leon Russell, Ron Glass. There was another person from Serenity and Firefly.
Barney Miller, thank you.
I know. Well, and
I have mixed feelings about Firefly, so I had to be sad about Barney Miller.
but Barney Miller, right before that, Abe Vigoda died.
That's right.
So it's like, okay, what did
everybody? Again, not because I'm a special snowflake, but special Abe Vigoda sadness because he is the voice of Sal Valente on the best Batman movie, The Mask of the Phantasm, the animated one that came out in like '95. So I mean, again, not usually what you would consider hitting you in your nerd spot, but for me, definitely, because I did, kind of know him from, I recognize the voice from Barney Miller, but then when I'm sitting in the theater watching Mask of the Phantasm, I was like, oh, damn, he's a good gangster voice. I mean, aging gangster.
Yes.
And
I'm wondering how much of it, I don't, when I was younger, my parents or my grandparents would talk about someone who had just died, and it was someone from their youth or young adult. So I'm wondering how much of it is the fact that I just know these people because I've grown up with them, and so as I get older, I'm just worried that 2017 is just going to be just as bad because it's just people that I know.
I don't really want to talk about it, but I'm sort of really concerned. Yeah, that this is the warm-up act on literally every level.
Did you see
because the universe does not care about January 31st.
Did you see someone, some little small studio turned 2016 into a horror movie?
Oh gosh, yeah.
and it's like, all these people are dying. They're like, what's the connection? And she's like, there's no connection. And then it just cuts scene.
You could totally cut news footage.
Yeah.
And a couple of people just freaking out and turned it into a thriller trailer for
2016. And then it cuts to he's like, why didn't you call for help? She's like, my phone exploded in my hand. And it's just like all the things that have happened.
It's time itself that stalks you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where do you hide from the year 2016?
Somebody tweeted out that David Bowie is actually starting his own alternate universe, and so he needed the best people to populate it. And so that's
That's a good one.
It's been crazy, and I don't think Florence Henderson. I think I don't know if I mentioned.
Someone started a GoFundMe page to protect Betty White from 2016.
Yeah.
Which I thought,
and it funded.
It did.
Some sort of record time, I think. Like it was, right on there.
I will be very sad when Betty White passes as well. And so it was just a horrible year. So let's talk. Let's move to some plus things that happened in 2016.
You guys are going to have to go. I don't have any.
Josh doesn't. Well, what about movies? Was there any
good movies that you liked this year?
You saw Rogue One.
Okay, here's where I earn my -1 rep. Okay, because we're talking about this in terms of bright spots of 2016. Most of the bright spots also had some dark spot going along with them. For instance, Rogue One was a delight.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, it's not a perfect movie. It's probably a little overambitious, especially in the first act. But it was really enjoyable. Strong female lead. No white people except bad guys. I'm really a lot of strong choices.
Really enjoyed it.
But it ends with, again, hey, spoilers.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. CGI Princess Leia, and I walk out to heart attack Carrie Fisher. That's not Rogue One's fault.
No.
But too bad.
It's a downer way to start it.
I saw it just last Sunday. And so it had already happened. So it's just moment at the end.
No, I'm saying that's not the movie's fault, but at the same time,
I think that
it is for me.
It fit perfectly with the trilogy. I mean, I told my dad, I go, it's not the prequels we got, but it's the prequels we deserved.
That's actually okay. So on the thematic side, there's the bright spot is thematically. You have a rebellion made up of people who did very bad things,
right?
And we need to hand that off to idealism, both for it to work with the original movies, but also to work with it not being a nihilist dumpster fire.
Right.
And they manage that exceptionally well. Let's own the fact that rebellions start with people doing very bad things, and figure out how to move that to a place where we don't hate them just as much as we do the Empire.
Absolutely loved that they used hope as a theme, and it just led right into A New Hope. Because they're like, rebellions are built on hope, which when they handed it off.
Yeah. Were you surprised by how many things that were in the trailers did not end up in that movie?
I had a conversation with a friend. This is I guess, I don't know if it's danger.
Director's cut.
It's the danger of trailers having to come out 2 minutes after you wrap shooting.
Yeah.
Editing is where the movie gets made. It's not in the script, it's not in the shooting, it's in the editing, and that's
especially because they reshoot. Apparently, they reshot something. I don't know what they reshot, but apparently, remember in summer they had to reshoot a whole bunch of scenes. I don't know what they were doing. I haven't read anything on what the reshoots were all about, but apparently it was enough to where it was different from what the trailer had done. So I don't know if they changed the ending too much. I mean,
well, I kind of knew what the ending was going to be going into it. I mean, there was no other real option.
I didn't, and I guess we're still on spoilers, so I didn't expect everybody to die. I didn't expect it to be a Blake 7 type of thing. I expected there to be maybe it's
easier to kill them off at the end of that movie, and then you don't have to worry about the continuity with things we made 30 years ago.
And to kill them off really wonderfully. Every one of them made a final sacrifice. They did something great and good right before they died, and that made it so beautiful.
They're also thematically old rebellion, right?
Yes.
And this is okay, so I'll bring some extra textual stuff to it, but over the years you've gotten earlier versions of scripts for A New Hope and stuff like that, and this is most obvious to me in the they did audio productions of those, like an NPR affiliate in California did the audio productions of them, and so there's this whole before what the movie we got starts arc with Leia, who moves from, she's always with the rebellion, but she's moving like medicine and food and stuff, and not weapons and not troops and any of that. And that shifts just like a run-in with Vader politically shifts that for her. And so all of that mixes together in my head to where they got to go because they're the old rebellion that did bad things, and they felt bad about it, but they did very bad things that make them not very sympathetic, and it needs to be handed off. Honestly, you see this in real world rebellions also, where it's like, okay, we need those idealists to take over, or we're going to turn into those guys that we just overthrew.
It can't just be the rebellion people, because sometimes those people are, overly violent.
And we knew we were getting that. Cassian, I mean, his first introduction, I was like, that's a very bad man.
Oh my God. And it took me by surprise when he killed his partner. I'm like,
because that's not a Han Solo.
No, he was bad. I'm like, oh, this is our hero, our male hero anyway. Yeah. And even Jen wasn't.
She. I mean, she's as close to clean as you get, but she also doesn't give a damn.
No,
at the
and that's
beginning.
why when the trailer, when she says, I'm a rebel, I rebel, and I'm like, actually, you're not. And that's why it was cut out of the movie, because she's not really a rebel.
I would have been fine with that still staying, because she obviously wasn't happily living within the Empire, following their rules and rising in their ranks or anything like that. So she was definitely like, hey, Empire, here is my middle finger.
Yes.
Hey, Rebel Alliance, you get the other one. I mean,
I'm not with us, which makes sense with Saw Gerrera. That's kind of who he was. He was against the Empire, and he didn't care what the rebellion was doing.
More
or
like
what
an
the Alliance
insurgent.
was doing. Yes.
Yeah.
So
And can we just talk about the joy? I can't remember his name because it was very late when I watched it. The Asian guy. I absolutely loved him.
I thought that the introductions of people were a little loose as part of my
first
act, because I don't remember anybody's name.
No, and when Aiden and I we did a special thing for the Okie Geek podcast, and I had to have it open on my computer while I'm looking at it, because I didn't even remember Jyn Erso was really the only one.
I remembered Erso.
Remember.
I didn't actually remember Jyn very well, but I remembered Erso because we had 2 or 3 people with that name. I mean, that was the.
And Cassian took me a while to remember, and the only one I could really remember is K2.
K2.
Alan Tudyk. Oh my gosh, what a genius!
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really liked that. He was like the mean. What's his name from Big Hero 6? He was like the mean version of that the robot from Big Hero 6.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I know.
B-Max.
B-Max. There we go.
He was like the mean B-Max.
He really was.
Good luck. Captain said I had to say so, or something. It's beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful.
Did you know that wasn't me? I loved the way they did that, and when he died, because I rewatched it. I love the fact that I got to go see it with my wife on Thursday night when it opened, and then on Saturday morning went to see the IMAX 3D with my son and get his reaction. I was kind of looking over at him, and when K2 dies, it's like it affects him.
Yeah.
And then of course they all from that moment on start dropping off.
And then they're dead, and then he's dead.
Yeah. But it was I thought it was a beautiful. Now
we got a couple of Marvel movies.
We did.
But I bring those up specifically because there's some dark spots there.
There are.
I mean, Civil War pretty much. Wait, that was this year, right?
That was, but
God, this year's so
I was
long.
actually going to say let's start at the very beginning because, like, kind of with the deaths where you had
Deadpool. We had Deadpool.
Was the first one, and let's talk about
was that Christmas?
That was February.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Valentine's Day. That's right.
Because you take your girl, she's gonna love it. It's a love story.
That is not a Marvel movie, guys.
No, it is. But not. No, I was going with
Marvel
with
owns it.
No.
No.
I mean, Marvel owns Deadpool, the comic book character, but that's really different.
It's a Fox. It is a Fox.
It's a Spider-Man situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the 90s, you may not know, Marvel went bankrupt.
Yeah.
And the way, like the comic book, and they sold off everybody that anybody would give a crap about, which is why we got an Avengers movie, because the Avengers were actually their B or C tier characters at the time. X-Men and Spider-Man put the asses in the seats.
Right. And so that's, and
so they
Fantastic
sold them
Four.
off. Yeah. I really am not sure why. That's a more complicated conversation.
Because they're well known. I think if
kinda.
Well, I mean, to the open.
I think they sold because they had sold Fantastic Four once before.
Yeah,
we got like a really terrible bootleg thing floating around. It's the worst.
It is awful.
Anyway, so they sold them all off in the 90s. That's why. So when they started movies, they were like, "What do we got left? Bunch of people nobody knows."
Iron Man, yeah.
Well, let's make it work.
I just think as far as bookending the movies of 2016 with Deadpool and Rogue One, I think at least started us and ended us really strong. And Deadpool, boy, I keep watching that over and over again, and I know I shouldn't like this movie.
It's funny.
No, it's a good movie.
But it's so...
It's very grown up.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Grown up in the way that 8th graders
that
Yeah.
You think you should be a grown-up when you're 12.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, this has always been how I've described Deadpool, even in the comics.
But I thought Deadpool was a redemption for Ryan Reynolds.
For his poor act in
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't. But
no,
it's still
but
not. But
terrible.
The problem with Green Lantern is the fact that he tried to be Deadpool. Hal Jordan tried to be that kind of jerky.
Yeah, no, when they cast him in Green Lantern, I was like, that makes more Kyle Rayner sense than Hal Jordan sense.
Right.
What are we doing? And blank look from Nikki.
Yeah.
Green Lantern was the good Green Lantern.
Okay.
The one that everybody actually liked and cared about circa 1998. He's still around because we don't ever throw anything away in comics.
Yes. Yeah, there's 4 or 5 now. I guess there's six Green Lanterns in the comics.
There are 4,000.
Well, no. I mean, just in
from Earth
2412 was that what sector is that? 2412.
2814.
2814.
Yeah, there are probably 5 or 6.
Yeah, because
it's kind of a ridiculous number.
There's the
I do
4.
know about the different colors of lanterns, though.
Yes.
I've learned that much.
Cartoons,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There are different colors.
If I can binge watch it,
but I thought
I will learn.
I thought Deadpool was a wonderful start to the year. Yes, Civil War had some issues.
Civil War actually is. I don't think there's a dark spot. Like, it's not a perfectly told story because it's Act 1 and 3 are Captain America movies and Act 2 are Avengers movies, and that makes things they just don't quite work as smoothly as we would like. But Doctor Strange was actually the one with the dark spot that I was.
I actually
because Civil War fixes Ultron.
Yes.
I mean, it's the good Ultron. Well, I meant because of Tilda Swinton. You've got an amazing Baron Mordo, you've got an amazing Wong, and then you've got Tilda Swinton. And if you have recently seen her email exchanges with Margaret Cho leading up to Doctor Strange, she doesn't get it. Like, she didn't get why it was a problem. And
I asked you about early on whether that was going to be a problem, the kind of the whitewashing of making the Ancient One as a
the answer will be yes. And it's not even just Marvel, which has its own diversity problems. It's Hollywood specifically has diversity problems with Asian actors.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of angry. I mean, there's already been a lot of anger over Ghost in the Shell because Scarlett Johansson gets cast. It does not make sense. No. No one's talking about it because I think it's going to be terrible. But that Great Wall,
with Matt Damon.
Exactly. Another Mighty Whitey. Yeah. We do not need more magical. I mean, and Doctor Strange is already a magical white boy.
Right.
So to shift that around. Anyway, there's just better ways that it could be done all over the place. For instance, I may have said this to you guys before, but just imagine they don't change anything in the script for the Ancient One, and they just cast Michelle Yeoh instead. It's immediately better. Yes. Tilda Swinton's job is to be weird, but that, I mean, really, apparently she used to have jobs where she wasn't weird, and I don't understand how she gets cast for stuff where she's not weird. But Michelle Yeoh could do that sort of like yeah, but she's supposed to be weird in that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Ever since that Narnia, she's always kind of played these weird characters. But you're right.
Michelle Yeoh could do that like wry condescension that would have been amazing opposite Benedict Cumberbatch.
There are a number of Asian actors who could have played that role.
Yeah,
and
I just picked Michelle Yeoh because I've been a huge fan of hers since my Korean friends were translating Korean subtitles off of John Woo movies to me in high school. Yeah. Like, so yeah, it's just
it's disappointing. I enjoyed Doctor Strange once I got through that because I went in knowing that Tilda Swinton was going to play it. So
right, I was over it, but I went anyway because of the work. Well, I mean, I say I went anyway. I needed to see those visuals. And it's already the best looking Marvel movie by far.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy has a hill to climb.
Volume 2
has a hill to climb as far as looking as good as
I think it will.
But they better have gone into it knowing that the game got stepped up. Yeah. Like the bar got raised.
The weirdness had gone. Yeah.
So
by the way, The Passenger.
Oh yes, have you seen it?
I have not, but I have. My
really
sister saw it and she's raving about it.
Yeah, it did not do well in the box office.
Yeah. She loved it.
Rogue One trampled all over that one.
Super problematic issues.
She just was like really surprised because like you really don't get what the story is in the trailers, and so she was like, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that's
right.
It's
plus
it's
might
too
just
new,
really like
and I
Chris
haven't seen
Pratt.
it. I just know what's broken. We should talk about that. And I won't talk about it on air until I've seen it.
Yes, exactly.
So, there's a thing, man. That's another one where it's just like, okay, Injustice triumphed an awful lot in 2016, and I feel like that happened on screen, both actually in the fiction and things that were going on, behind the scenes, like that, just with casting choices and who gets jobs and stuff like this. It was tough. That's why I say entertainment still a difficult time.
It is, but
in the world of video games, however,
that's right.
It's great.
We have nothing but positive things.
I want to get on behind the scenes. I wanted to talk about Suicide Squad because you're talking about behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
and that caused a lot lot of problems
that caused
as
a
well.
Big stir.
With the guy who was playing the Joker, Jared Lowe playing.
But that's because he's a jackass.
Yeah,
well, apparently.
I mean that apparently, that's not
with a great band, but we won't talk about that.
Now there were some,
but the announcement of same director with Margot Robbie as an executive producer doing a Gotham Sirens movie. I knew after Suicide Squad that there would be a Harley movie. I didn't know exactly what form that would take.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like nobody was going to want to work with Jared Leto anymore. And stuff.
One that was really good in the movie. So.
Well, Deadshot also, but mostly because Will Smith was not being Will Smith.
Yeah.
And also because they were the only two that were written. Everybody else was just sort of like.
See, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I'm waiting. I'll wait till it comes out. Well,
it has
video now, but
it's totally watchable. It has very similar problems to Guardians of the Galaxy. Honestly, the two places that Guardians of the Galaxy wins are they actually wrote all 5 members of the 5-man band. That did not happen in Suicide Squad. They only wrote 2 of them, and Marvel movies have a bouquet of success. Like you would have to work very hard to be a terrible Marvel movie at this point. In fact, speaking for myself, at this point, I'm more concerned that I'll be bored by Marvel movies than that I will hate them, right?
Ant-Man, for example.
Yeah, which it's fine.
Yeah.
But why are we having it?
Yeah.
Like, whereas DC movies have a bouquet of failure.
Yeah.
Earned or not, they have a bouquet of failure, so you have this very similar story problems between Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad, but one comes out a big success and one comes out a middling success.
It was not.
It made money.
It did.
It did. And we're getting I think the working title, I guess, is Gotham Sirens. So you're getting a Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman movie apparently.
I would enjoy that. I
lifted my embargo. I have an embargo of all DC movies except for Wonder Woman, and I was like, I know. Yeah, Gotham Sirens.
I will go see Wonder Woman in the theater when it comes out this year.
And I think DC really needs to recognize is that their female characters are badass. Like Catwoman, they have a better Poison stable. Ivy and Harlequin and Wonder Woman.
Marvel's working on them, but they're not. I mean, Marvel, the comics, are working on their female characters. And
to be fair, they also have a strong stable, especially considering what the studio has already done as far as taking what were B and C list characters and turning them into. Now the Avengers comics are also driving the universe. They have a good stable already. They're just not doing anything with them.
Right.
And I mean, we'll get Captain Marvel eventually. I tweeted last night. I was watching Civil War for the rewatch for the first time last night, and as soon as Black Panther showed up, I was like, I'm pissed at Spider-Man again. I mean, I actually think Homecoming is going to be good.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't care about it as much as I do Black Panther and Captain Marvel. Anyway, so they've got those. I don't know what's going to happen with Hulk in the third Thor movie.
Right.
But a She-Hulk, honestly, a She-Hulk show would be better.
Yeah.
A She-Hulk TV show would be the best.
I really wanted that Mark Ruffalo Hulk movie eventually, but I don't think I'm ever going to get it.
No,
I'm not.
I'd rather
I'm not sure he could. Okay, not Ruffalo. I'm not sure that the Hulk has already carried more movies than the Hulk probably should have been able to carry.
But he's the Hulk.
He's just
he can
not
carry as many movies as he wants.
Well, technically speaking, by weight, but I mean by narrative weight.
Yeah.
We've probably played all the notes he's got.
Right, which is why I think a She-Hulk would be so much better, because you've actually got an intelligent, strong person rather than just...
Not only that, why I say TV, because you get to do lawyer stuff.
Yeah.
Superhero lawyer stuff is great. I mean, Hellcat's already sort of in use on Jessica Jones, but the most recent She-Hulk book had Hellcat as her investigator. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I've been reading those.
It was a good time.
I do want to also mention really quickly some honorable mentions. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I thought a great return to the Harry Potter world. And Star Trek's Beyond. A return.
I still haven't seen that.
It's good.
I just don't care enough after Into Darkness.
I love Into Darkness.
I'm being told. Everyone is telling me I need to go see The Thing. Really?
Yes.
Oh, I understand. I enjoyed it too.
Okay, I know the whitewashing of Khan.
No, not even. Well,
I was annoyed about that, but
before that, That's all I got. Huh.
Really?
See, to me, Into Darkness was how you feel about Ant-Man.
What are we doing?
It was I just wasn't great. It wasn't good, but I enjoyed it. I could sit and watch it.
Yeah.
And
I think some of my upsetness was I was very trepidatious about the reboot, and the reboot's not really Star Trek in what I would want from in a perfect box of what I was going to get from Star Trek, but it was a lot of fun. And also remember, I was super excited about it before we knew we were getting more Star Wars. So I was like, if I'm not going to get any more Star Wars, sure.
Then enjoy Star Trek.
Turn Star Trek into Star Wars. It'll be fine. They squandered just a lot of...
There was some continuity issues that I had a problem with into Darkness, but...
Listen, that's my job.
A lot of that is explained in the comic books.
But it was... Benedict Cumberbatch's debut as a villain, and because I've only seen him as Sherlock before then, pretty much.
Where he's only kind of a villain.
But then I'm like, oh my gosh, he makes such a great bad guy too.
Yes.
Why are you perfect, Benedict?
I enjoy watching Benedict Cumberbatch in anything.
Honestly, that's one of my sort of second tier, more esoteric complaints about Doctor Strange is I don't think they used Benedict Cumberbatch to his
utilized
fullest.
him.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, if he had been more like he is in Sherlock as Doctor Strange, I think that whole thing works. It works a lot better.
I feel the same way about...
We didn't hate Stephen Strange enough, and we really should have hated him. He's a giant douche nozzle.
Yes.
We should have hated that guy.
See, I felt the same about The Revenant. When The Revenant came out, it had Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, they were cold and starving the whole time. They had no act.
That's fine for Tom Hardy. I mean, Tom Hardy can do anything.
Yes, right. You don't.
Tom Hardy, come live at my house. You don't talk about my boyfriend, Tom Hardy.
or me and Devin's boyfriend. I'll speak on our behalf.
There you go.
You don't talk about. He's my boyfriend. I really like Tom Hardy.
So let's talk about games.
Oh my God, it's been such a good year for games.
It has. Talk to us about that. What's going on?
It's the only good thing about this year.
There's no dark spots?
No.
There's no Mass Effect 3s?
Not really. No.
Well, Mass Effect came out, right?
No. It's not out yet. We don't even have a release date. We have first quarter of 2017. We don't have a date yet.
I just knew that Mass Effect 3 is a Mass Effect 3 is to the wider video game community what Age of Ultron is to me. Oh, so that's how we're gonna capitalize on all that goodwill. Way to screw it up.
It was good. The ending was bad.
Right.
So like
for the people like myself, honestly, that a bad ending can retroactively poison good things.
Because even like the whole of the third game, you're like yes, and then you get the ending, and then you're like,
jerks.
No.
So that's why I dropped that. You didn't have any Mass Effect 3s this year.
No, not this year. Some other people might have. I didn't get a lot of gaming in this year. Just because it's been
because you're getting older and you have to work. I know.
It's because 2016 is the worst. I don't have time to do anything fun either.
In my personal life, just a lot of I moved to Oklahoma City. And, a lot of changes going on But no, like we had at the beginning of the year, we had did Type 0 come out at the beginning of the year? Final Fantasy Type 0. I think that might have been a little bleeding into 2015 a little bit, but it's towards 2016. Right. And
we'll take what we can get.
Actually, handhelds have had a really good run this year. Lots of good handheld RPGs.
Pokemon, big research. I mean, like what's the new one? Sun and Moon?
Sun and Moon.
I mean, I'm hearing wonderful things about that.
And then Pokemon Go was huge this year.
Pokemon Go took over the universe. Of course, it's
over
slower
the summer.
now. It's slower
for about 10 minutes. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I still turn it on every now and then, but it's not quite the...
That is almost the definition of something going viral, it does not last.
I did not rush out and try and get a Pikachu and a Santa hat.
No, I haven't played Pokemon Go in about 5 months.
It was a good little summer click.
When it was warm, it's warm, I'm all about it.
And my kids still play it, but I don't.
Yeah, my son, same thing. He runs around still trying to catch, but he's young and he can go do that. So.
And he's,
and he doesn't care if it's cold.
Amused.
But now, Final Fantasy
15 came out December 20-something. I don't remember. But I've gotten about 4 hours into it because,
Good girl.
I'm old and life. Or else I probably would have beaten it by now. And I had my kids this weekend. Just wait till the non-weekend kid.
Yeah.
They didn't want to hover over your shoulder and see all of it?
No, we watched Star Wars instead.
Yeah. Okay,
that's why they wanted to watch
fair trade.
Star Wars. So, because I was like, we can either watch Mommy play a video game, or we can watch Star Wars.
Yeah. Nice try.
You want to watch it.
So how does it compare? How does it compare to them?
I really love what they did with it.
Okay.
It's a Final Fantasy game in the real world. If that's any.
Yeah.
Way to explain it, because
so I don't get to ride ostriches in high stakes.
You still do.
Okay.
You still do. Like they've done a really good job of importing a lot of the Final Fantasy trope type things and like the lore and everything, and put it in like a real world setting.
Let's have a moment for high stakes ostrich racing. Good times.
Yeah.
Okay, back to
and because like you drive around in a car and it's called the Regalia. It looks very similar to a Rolls Royce.
Grand Theft Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and you get to drive around and like so you play as Prince Noctis. This is at the very beginning of it. He's been betrothed to Luna Freya to kind of settle this ceasefire type thing that's going on, and he's cool with it. He knows he's known from a long time that this as the prince is his responsibility. Blah, blah, blah. He's very cool with it. So you have Prince Noctis, Ignis, who's like your Megami character, your Glasses character, Gladius,
the Lancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gladius, who's like the big beefy guy who has no shirt underneath his jacket.
He has no shirt under his jacket?
Yeah, for some reason.
It's Morrison era Wolverine.
Yes.
That's fantastic. He looked like a gay biker, like the biker from the Village People. Like that's what Wolverine looked like, and it was amazing.
And then there's Prompto, who's your swift, skinny little runaround guy. He's your thief type character, and Your cup is being loud.
It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Interrupting my monologue.
I don't even know how that happened. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go on. Yes.
But they did really interesting things to kind of root them in like this real world type setting. Like they each have hobbies. Like Ignis cooks, and so as you go around to different restaurants, you'll order food and stuff. He'll be like, "Oh, I have an idea for a new recipe," and you write it down. And then Prompto's little hobbies.
Wait, is that the big dude?
No, he's Glasses' character.
Oh, okay. The brains.
The brains.
Okay.
He's also the driver of the car. So
always gotta have a driver.
Sure.
Because he's a prince. He's not going to drive himself. And then Prompto's hobby is he does photography on the side. So
and I'm sure there are achievements for these things.
Yeah, and so you'll find little points where you can go take a picture and it ups his photography, and so then you actually get to chronicleize your playthrough of the game because they're taking pictures as you play, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
and it's oh yeah, that's awesome. And they actually were really smart because I digitally bought it off the PlayStation Store, and it took 2.5 hours to download, which was very disappointing for me on Christmas night.
Oh, I remember. Yes, I saw tweets.
Yes,
not just from you. I'm not even sure if I saw it, but yeah, that discussion was in my tweet feed. Yes.
Yeah, but they actually did something very smart. Is in the initial download, the one that takes 10 minutes, so you actually just have a title screen up on, and then you have to wait for the rest of it. They actually put in a combat training that you could download, so you could learn the mechanics.
Hit the ground running.
Yeah, so you could learn the mechanics before you actually play the game.
That's a great idea.
And I was like, that was a really good idea.
Yeah, with 2.5 hours, you're like a black belt by the time.
Well, because this is the first action type. It's not turn-based, it's action, which they've been slowly getting to that in Final Fantasy games, but this is the first one where you're just hit the ground running, and you're just and the Noctis has this really cool where he throws his sword and he teleports.
Is it a ginormous sword?
No, well, it can be because you have options. Yeah, it's 3 different options.
I don't understand an option where it's not a ginormous sword that no human could lift.
There's the ginormous sword, like Cloud, the traditional Final Fantasy sword. There's a lance and then a normal sword.
Ridiculous.
I know.
I'm always going to have a big sword. If I got an option of a big sword, I'm going for the big sword. Hey.
No, it's Nikki. Nikki's she'll be fine. She's back, and she's back. No, yeah. Same thing for World of Warcraft. I just want giant shoulders and big swords.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with that. And if there's any option to make my sword grow bigger, I'm all over that.
Thundercat style, right?
That's right.
Thundercats is a metaphor, you guys. Lionel hits puberty in the frozen state, so of course that's how the sword works.
Isn't that when you jump in bed, go Thundercats, ho! Oh. And your sword is bigger, and your sword's
bigger.
Shut up. Okay. Anyways, so you play as Noctis, and
shoots light out of it too.
And so you throw the sword, you teleport. So there's a lot of strategy involved.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that, guys.
Giant teleporting sword. Sounds awesome.
It is really awesome.
Take a drink.
Anyways, so I've just gotten through, it took me a lot longer to get through the first chapter than it probably should because there's side quests, and I'm a completionist.
Of course.
No, that's what you do. Why would you not do them?
That's right.
But they do such a good job with
Still playing Skyrim.
Yeah, I know. Have gotten 1/26 through the storyline, but I got all the side quests.
I thought it would be faster if I just got angry and killed everybody, but it doesn't. It just opens up different quests.
No. That's my problem with Majora's Mask. I keep getting distracted by side quests. But anyway, go ahead.
But they have there's these people called hunters, and they're bounty hunters, and they end up dying. So there's a side quest where you have to go find their dog tags and return them to the headhunter, and then he has this little sad story about how he gets to tell the family, what happened to honorable death, blah blah blah. And then you're like, oh, that's sad. Okay, let's go
to the Rolls Royce.
To the Rolls, which is called the Regalia.
I love it.
That's beautiful. I want a car called the Regalia.
Yeah.
And I want this car, but anyways.
I'm gonna Google it now because
yeah,
I bet it's steampunky. Is it steampunky?
It's slightly and like the doors. No one can see this, but I have to show Joshua. Doors open like this,
like French doors.
Yeah,
you have French doors on your car.
Yeah, French doors on the car, and you have like 4 really hot Oh, and the most important thing about Final Fantasy 15 are the Louis Vuitton boots that they all wear.
Awesome.
They're all black with red bottoms. It's just like, where do I get those?
Oh my gosh, this looks like I'm Googling it, and is it this? This is the Regalia?
Yes.
It looks kind of like a cross between late 80s and early 90s Batmobile.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It looks like the late
really
80s Batmobile
front.
and the mid 90s Batmobile had a baby.
Yeah. And
so the graphics are good?
Graphics are great, especially on my TV I got on Black Friday. Voice acting's really on point. They synced it because, I mean, technically it's in Japanese.
It's still a translation.
Yeah. And so they did really good syncing it. And normally it's like the voice. Okay, so one thing, I'm going to be honest. It's.
Can I get real a second?
This is going to be real.
Millisecond?
You are going to have to get used to it being kind of super flamboyant. Okay. If that's the word I want to use.
No, that's okay. When you said everybody has Louis Vuitton boots, I was already like, I have a feeling that this is going to be the most fabulous.
Yes, it's fabulous. And everyone has fabulous hair.
Fabulous fantasy. Now that's an anime.
Yeah,
that's an ongoing anime. Where's this dramatic wind coming from? My hair brought it. It's only on my hair, and like also possibly my cape.
So like if you're coming into this from like a Battlefront 1 or Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty or whatever, like the U.S. games bring, like Mass Effect and stuff, you're going to have to get used to this very fabulous, flamboyant type feel, and you're going to be like, this is...
I don't have any problem with that.
Super fabulous.
I mean, again,
I love things being fabulous.
I've been having a really... I mentioned Prince, losing both Prince and David Bowie this year. I've had a lot of those. I don't have the patience or money to develop the proper wardrobe, but I wish I did.
Yeah, it's all dressed very, very nice.
And I was
let
me do it to my video game characters. Sounds about my speed.
And I was oddly surprised that I actually really enjoy having an all-male cast. Like, because at first a lot of people were very upset there were no female characters. And I was like, it might be interesting just to let guys bond with other guys and it not have there has to be a romance, because it's very much about that camaraderie. They're best friends. They've grown up together. They're Noctis's protectors. And
I like
such.
the fact that they didn't feel like they had to have a female for a love interest of any kind.
Yeah,
if it's just guy. If it's
there is one, but it's very low subtext, like because he's being betrothed to Lunafreya. But
I'll say that interests me specifically. This is not a rabbit trail we will go down, but a very interesting discovery as I was watching Outlander this year is that they do have these this like strong group of male friends. Like that's what they do, and they are guys who have to fight, but and there's a little bit of pushing each other around or being douches to each other, but overall it's like this is just non-toxic masculine friendship.
Yeah,
and I had not realized how rare that is in fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, that is at least as rare as a group of non-catty, non-confrontational female friends. The confrontation would just look different.
Yeah.
But the idea that we support each other. Healthy friendships is healthy same-sex friendships is. We're not good at that in America.
No, no, we are not.
So good job.
And it's one of the reasons why I love, like for example, Lord of the Rings is basically a group of guys running around, and of course Jackson had to put in females just to have some kind of a love interest, which you really don't.
Because Sam is the best love interest Frodo's going to have.
Yes, because there's no true romance.
I just spend 9 or 12 hours waiting for them to kiss.
Yes, get a room.
Oh,
for real.
I love it, but that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about this game so far is that there weren't any of that, traditional male stereotypes friendship wise that had to be pushed on that, like because they were friends, but no homo. There's none of that. So I was really
also because we're super fabulous, so
maybe a little homo.
You don't know.
Is fine.
It's fine.
It's okay. Now I do want to talk about Overwatch because that also came out this year.
That was Blizzard's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard's answer to Team Fortress, basically. And it was a huge success.
Seems to be going pretty well.
I keep seeing advertisements for it.
And they keep on adding characters, which I think is fantastic.
And I mean, again, in 2016 especially, this is a saw I'm always going to work on, I think, for the rest of my life. But especially in 2016, they're doing it with diversity in mind on purpose. Like, we're putting clothes on them. No, she's, I think, did they have a trans?
Yes.
One of the characters is
trans.
Like, it's not subtext.
Yeah, no.
We're not expecting you to read the transgender code. Like, that's the thing. Like, they're doing that on purpose.
Wonderful.
Also, isn't Overwatch the one that like an 11 or 12-year-old South Korean girl just kicked?
Oh yeah,
the hell out of everybody in the world.
She had to record it because no one believed her.
She was specifically, of course, by gaming dude bros accused of mods, hacks, cheats, bots, whatever, all the magic that makes sense. And she was just like, no, just step up. I mean, she's like 11 or 12 years old.
She's like, just step up your game, bro.
She just wrecked them, and I was like, that's a beautiful picture.
Yes,
it's kind of like the Rogue One thing. It's not the game's fault or bonus. But I'm into that story. I am now more interested in Overwatch because of that story.
A lesbian character, and it's not the big butchy girl that everyone expected, because they were going to reveal which one was lesbian. And there's like this tank type girl, and then there's the slight flashy run around teleport place. And they revealed that it was the flashy teleporty.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's exciting.
That's very
neat.
And
so they didn't go with the traditional. It's going to be the butchy one, obviously. So they're doing a really great job with it, and really good with representation too, because they have all body types, some of them are even blue. I mean, and
I'm notoriously poor at video games that require speed and also good systems, because I don't have either personally or technologically, but I hear really wonderful things about the gameplay, and I've watched a couple, not for long, because I really don't understand people that like just watch total playthroughs and stuff. Like, it's just not me. I can't do it. But hey, what's this gameplay like? And seen 10 or 15 minutes of it, and I was like, I kind of want to play this game. I mean, I'm just going to get my ass kicked all over the place. But
that's most of us. That's one of the things.
12-year-old girl in South Korea wrecking my face.
That's one of the things. It's like, once people get so good at it, it's like, I don't even want to play online anymore, because they're so good. Because there's no real way to. There's a ranking system that they have, but then you have the jerkwads that will drop in rank just to go beat all the noobs and then get back up.
Sandbagging griefers.
So, but that's one of the games this year that came out that was real. And the new World of Warcraft expansion came out this year, which a lot of people really enjoy. I'm not a big World of Warcraft fan, which I might get some hate over, but Final Fantasy 15 had an expansion. A lot of MMOs had an expansion this year. I'm trying to think of another one. I think Ion had one too. But so video gaming's been very, very good this year.
Way to keep your head down, gaming, in 2016.
Yeah, they're just like,
just do the work.
And
just keep your head low
and big, at the end of the 2016, the Nintendo Classic.
Oh my gosh, the NES Classic.
Behold, as children demand the system that was too expensive for me to have when I was their age. It's great.
There was this really cool picture that went viral online. It's of a guy who had, when he was a kid, had got the original NES, and he's like holding it over his head, and it's like, the Christmas trees and everything behind him, and he's wearing like this red polo shirt, and then it showed him like 2016 with the tiny NES, and he's holding it over his head.
I am bigger and it is smaller, but we're having the same time. That's
still
amazing.
just as excited.
I really want to get it, but I didn't really want to get it until no one could get it. And then I had to have this thing, and I still want to.
I think it's back on shelves. Like, I saw one at Vintage Stock right before Christmas. So it exists in the world.
Yeah, but it's price gouged right now.
I didn't.
Vintage stock is
I didn't care, so I didn't look at the price. But at least there was one there.
I'm interested to seeing what the price is because it's like I understand.
It'll settle down.
Yeah, of course it will.
Yeah, it's just like
that's why I say if you're going to buy 6 or 7 of them, you better hope you sell all of those immediately because as soon as they put them back out on shelves, they're at $60. Then who cares? I'm torn about the idea of getting 30 games. That you can't.
It's more than that, isn't it?
It's just 30 of the games.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can't add to the games.
Well, that's why you get a Raspberry Pi.
Yes.
What's a Raspberry Pi?
It's a tiny little computer. I mean, tiny. That you are that everybody I know that has one, which is not tons, but they're just for playing video games on old video games.
Well, and also I went
Streets
to
of Rage.
Yeah, Quail Springs Mall has these controllers that you plug right into your television, and you can. And most of those games that are on the Nintendo Classic are on this handheld thing. So I mean, like Zelda and Mario, and including like about 70 other games. So I don't know. It might be worth it, but it'd be fun to certainly to try it out. I would love to, and plus my wife wants to play the old classic games, and I'm like, I could dig that. I could enjoy playing.
And
it
has like
I didn't suck at those.
Yeah, I know. I was actually so that's how I felt too.
Good job, Josh.
So
maybe it was just practice because I was like 10 years old and had time.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. You've got plenty of time to game when you're 10.
But 2017 looks amazing because Mass Effect's coming out, and I'm so excited.
This is the sort of off story Andromeda.
This is Andromeda's.
Yeah,
they're leaving our solar system, galaxy, blah blah blah.
And it's different characters. It's not Shepard, right?
It is not Shepard.
Yeah,
no, it's completely
a new generation of characters.
Yes, and we've gotten a look at the Ryder is the new character. That you will be playing as, which you get to pitch between male and female. Which, when you were talking about,
she's pointing at me, gang. No good can come of this.
When you're talking about Doctor Strange, you know how they could have gotten a different actor for the Ancient One.
Yeah,
and it would have been change nothing, just different.
Yeah, don't rewrite it. Yeah, just let this other person do the thing.
That's exactly what Mass Effect does with their main characters. It's the exact same script, exact same thing, everything. You just pick if you're male or female. And then, there are some slight differences. Just pronouns are different,
Sure.
But, it's basically the same character.
Huh.
And that's one of the things I really enjoyed about Mass Effect is, because a leader is a leader is a leader, they didn't have to change it because I chose a female character.
Yeah.
This is how my latest playthrough of Skyrim has been, too. Playing as a female Nord. And it's like, yep, it's exactly the same. Murderous hobo, whether I'm a boy or a girl.
And that's the way it
Everybody
should
still
be.
wants to marry me because I'm awesome.
And that's the way I felt like it should be, and that they did something really well there. It was they didn't change what a leader and hero is based on gender.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I really hope they retain in in the new Mass Effect is that.
And what numbers do you think is that going to be like Mass Effect?
It'll be
Andromeda.
Okay.
It'll be the 4th game that has come out.
And they're still waiting on an actual release date on that.
And there's no real release date on it. Did we get Dragon Age? No, we got Dragon Age in 2015. This is how far behind I'm on video games.
Yeah, and I want next week we'll talk about what we're expecting for 2017.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Excited, but I have to talk about Mass Effect because it's pretty much life.
We've got about 10 minutes left, and I want to talk about television.
Television's been really good this year, I think.
I think so. I think my
There's
favorite has been
some spotty,
Well, no, that face, I was trying to remember what I watched in 2016 and what actually came out in 2016.
Yeah.
Well, there was as far as new stuff, Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Marvel movies, the Marvel stuff is gonna be
things.
It's gonna be
new season of Daredevil came out, which was
wait, was that in 2016?
Yeah,
that was earlier this.
Well, it can go in the dumpster fire.
The Punisher part's really good. I like that.
It was a good setup for Punisher.
Yeah,
I'm liking that. But as far as that big gaping hole in the script, which was literal and figurative.
Yeah, the gaping. What was that?
Yeah, so Luke Cage was good.
Penny Dreadful, I finished.
Ish.
We've discussed this.
But I don't know. Wait, was that
That was actually not this
That was
year.
2015. See,
I watched it this year, so I'm counting it.
Okay, what else was new?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Yes, was very
this
good.
year, and amazing homage to the 80s. A great story, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Stranger Things 2. I think that was
yeah. I'm also I haven't had a chance yet, but the OA sounds like it's also super weird and enjoyable. Westworld this year. I mean, I'm really looking to TV now for my best, smartest storytelling.
Yeah,
I really am at this point. Between Outlander, Black Sails, Westworld came out of nowhere because originally I was like, you mean off that Michael Crichton?
That movie from 1974?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Stranger Things out of nowhere. And then I've barely dipped my toe, so it may not work out, but a Netflix original with Channel 4 in Britain, Crazy Head, which I just started, and it just looks bananas and is gonna scratch that Buffy itch, but in a 2016 way. Yeah, I'm looking to TV for that stuff. Honestly,
it is
CW superheroes also are doing more of what not just with DC heroes, that's a no-brainer, but they're doing more ridiculous over-the-top superhero stuff there than I'm gonna get in, well, I shouldn't say any other movie because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is coming, and that promises to be bananas, but I mean,
Don't
generally
touch that button.
Yeah,
I am Groot.
I am Groot. So cute.
No, had my son and I
so
laughing
even
like crazy.
even Supergirl.
Oh, now I was going to say, now Supergirl was probably the biggest change getting it off CBS. I didn't realize how bad CBS was ruining the show until it got to CW.
I'd really like to know more about what was going on behind the scenes. It's still not. It's not. They have changed their core mission statement.
Yeah,
they really have. So there was a way to do the original core mission statement well. I don't know if it was CBS's fault or if the team wasn't paying attention.
I do know, for example, Kara's sister coming out.
That has been huge.
The most beautiful, well-handled scenes where you really realize what it means for her to come out to her family, to her friends, to her sister, and was so well performed.
Yeah,
and they have said
Tyler Lee's she did a great job.
That would not have happened on CBS.
Oh yeah, no way, no way.
So already, I mean, it changes everything, and I just think with the CW's handling of Supergirl, the CW's handling of the whole crossover,
the 4-part crossover that. Okay, I really enjoyed the 4-part crossover. Also, super obvious they ran out of money.
Yes.
Like at the end, they were like, "What the hell do we do? We got like $4.
We got one episode left to finish out the mid-season finale, and we've got like.
What do you guys think?
I got 25 cents. Let's finish this.
It was I mean, I really liked it. All the character stuff was really great. The final battle was super fuzzy, and I was like, is that a script problem or a money problem or both? It's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody walking around talking to each other has been a hoot. So yeah.
I thought the crossovers were good.
I have no idea what's going on Legends. I was like, who the hell are all these people? It is. I've only watched about half of the first season of Legends. And so this was the mid-season finale. So in between their last mid-season and this mid-season, it is basically 100% a different show.
Yeah.
And that is a ballsy move. Like I was watching it going, who the heck? What? I don't even know. Oh, that's Vixen. Okay, she looks kind of like her cartoon. All right, who's this douche with the hair? Oh, he turned into metal.
That's Steel.
Apparently it's Sergeant Steel.
I know.
What?
I know. And I love the fact that they're willing to just kind of go a little bit crazy with it.
That's the bananas. That's the most bananas of all their bananas. But yeah, for it to be just for me, that jump from that point to this point, I was like, different show. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I also do. By the way, if you want to find out something new that started this year, it's on BBC America or AMC, and I really enjoy it. Is Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
This has been a fascinating.
My wife and I watched it in 2 days.
How many episodes?
It's only 8, but
8 1 hour.
Yeah, and it's you kind of got to. I feel sorry for the people who went the long way around. Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
It is weird and crazy, and you've got to watch them all.
Have you read the books?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's even weirder.
It is so bizarre that people are talking about Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. It's a Douglas Adams guy who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide, and so after I read all the Hitchhiker's Guide books when I was, 9th or 10th grade, I went, what else has he got? And it's only 2 books, I think. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency and Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul. And even then, it was like, I had my nerd circles, and they recognized Hitchhiker's Guide, and I'd mention Dirk Gently, and they would just be like, nope. And so now, 25 years later, I'm on Twitter going, who are all these people talking about Dirk Gently? Oh, there's a TV show.
There's a TV show. And
well,
it's really
that makes sense.
It is not the books, but it is still that weird, everything's connected type thing. And so when someone trips over a rock, you go, there's something about that, even
something's going to happen.
And everything. The nice thing is it's not lost where you don't know what's going on and you will never know what's going on. They all tie it up into one season.
Okay, that sounds like something I would really like.
Yeah,
to watch
now
everything gets perfect little bows and like everything's connected.
I can see that.
Now it leaves it to where there's obviously going to be a sequel. There's going to be a but it still at least ties up the storyline within one season.
Seasons as telenovelas. I mean, right up until the last episode of Westworld, I was not sure it was going to satisfy me for that reason, where I was like, are you guys going to actually make this a satisfying... I don't need an ending, per se, but are you going to make this a satisfying chunk of story? And they did.
They did, yes. I thought...
But I mean, going into so knowing that, actually, I'll shuffle that higher up my list.
Yeah. And finally, I do want to mention that Doctor Who's finally did actually return to 2016 television in the last second. Christmas Day.
For Christmas stuff,
Dr. Mysterio was wonderful. If you haven't seen it yet, it's great. And it's great because it's a Christmas special Doctor Who that has very little to do with Christmas. He doesn't land on a planet named Christmas. He doesn't, have to take on snowmen. I know. It's good because it's a great story.
I demand that Nutcracker soldiers fire cane rifles
or snowmen come to life or something like that. Or the Christmas tree spins around and attacks you with, its Christmas balls. I knew that would get both of you.
I was just waiting for Nikki.
But Dr. Mysterio is very good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Doctor Who. Will return full length season.
Did they say that at the end of the credits?
Well, there's actually a little trailer for season 10.
Because you can't say Doctor Who will return because that's not his name.
Yeah.
That's right. The Doctor will return. But I was actually talking Doctor Who as in the show.
Yeah, I know.
Will return in 2017. So
it's just they always do that. James Bond will return.
Yes.
I wish he'd stop.
Okay. Anything else about 2016 that we would like to mention?
Good damn riddance.
Yes. Goodbye, 2016.
That's all I got.
Let's look forward to 2017.
Please.
It's got to be better than that. So
my God. Yeah.
That's going to do it for our show. You can find us on our new website, okiegeek.com, also on Twitter and Facebook at Okie Geek Podcast. That's also our address for our Gmail account. We'd love to hear from you. You can also find us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, and iTunes. And Nikki, where can people find you on the World Wide Web?
You can find me at Retro Robinson on Twitter, and I also run the Facebook page.
And Josh.
You can always find me on Twitter at Joshua Unruh, and I'm going to suggest that you also visit joshuaunruh.com. Maybe sign up for the newsletter if you think that I might be able to tell you interesting stories, because there's a couple new projects in what year is it going to be?
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look out for Josh's newsletter.
New projects in 2017 that you'll be, I think
By the way, I think I'm the only one in 2016 that actually finished my challenge.
No. Oh, you finished it. Yeah. No, I finished my other challenge. I didn't finish it. I need to get your...
I would have happily done my challenge if you really turned up with it.
You said that somebody...
But then
we're not going to talk about it.
But then we switched to Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play ridiculous, over-the-top nonsense anime lawyer. Ask my wife legal advice about Phoenix Wright just to watch her face turn red.
Cringe. She would cringe.
See?
All right. But I did watch Broadchurch, and
you didn't read Dune.
I read most of Dune.
Lies.
Yeah.
Did you watch Quest? Did you watch Quest?
I did.
There you go.
I watched it.
So 2 out of 3. How many did you finish?
I got 3 out of 4.
All of them but yours.
Or 2 out of 3.
No,
what is it?
Yeah.
The only one I didn't finish your game. I enjoyed playing it, but I did not finish it. You can find me at KOSU Michael.
We're doing that again. Everybody go home and think think about your challenges.
Hear that, Devin?
I want Phoenix Wright to just shift forward. Okay. I don't know how to do that. If you show me some shady internet way to do it, I will do it.
I can find some way.
There you go.
But I want to play.
There's a way.
So I'm making a request. I'm making that request as my challenge for 2017.
I want you to live tweet your wife's reactions when you ask the questions. Though.
Okay, we'll talk about off air because the listeners will only care when I'm doing it. But I can already tell you what they'll be because we've watched a lot of Law and Order.
Oh, that's got to drive her insane.
It'll be even worse with Phoenix.
We usually just hand wave it because it's New York. It's state laws. But then we'd watch like 20 minutes of Boston Public at my mom's house or something, and she would just be like,
no.
Hell no.
That's not happening.
Walk away.
All right.
Be sure and subscribe to the podcast. Also, rate us and leave a comment. Until next time, I'm Michael Cross.
I'm Nikki Robinson.
And I'm Joshua Unruh.
Reminding you to keep calm and geek on.